Good evening and welcome to the business meeting of August 21st, 2025. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We convened our business meeting at 6:30 and then went into executive session for the employment history of one particular person. We came out of executive session and we are now here back at our business meeting. So the first thing is we're opening a public hearing to receive comments from the public on the volunteer firefighter and volunteer ambulance corps worker exemption. Does anybody have anything to say or add? I think, Crystal, they brought it up at the town board meeting the other night too, right? Or not while you were there?
One more time?
The volunteer, did they bring it up?
They did. They did not bring it up, actually. They just gave a report on the number of incidents that they've had. But I gave a report, certainly, regarding that when I gave my report last night at the town board meeting.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you. You think they passed it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So I guess I could provide just some background information since there's no public here for our hearing. So this is something that the district is actually a long-standing exemption that has been afforded to volunteer fire and ambulance corps members in Putnam Valley for many years. The district has allowed this exemption. The state had changed what the maximum allotment of that exemption had been. So this is really not something new, but more so an update of an existing exemption to allow volunteer firefighters and ambulance corps workers who qualify, and there's a list of qualifications associated with this, to receive an exemption up to 10% of the value of their home for taxes. So when we had done the calculation, if every volunteer fireman, firefighter, and volunteer ambulance corps member were to qualify, which they won't all, we believe the average taxpayer could incur an increase of approximately $14 in taxes in order to fund this, because it's not less taxes, it's a redistribution of taxes that these individuals will not be paying, hence would have to be picked up by the rest of the community. So I think the board in previous public discussions had reached the conclusion that we believe that was a very fair trade-off to recognize these individuals who many times spend hundreds of hours volunteering for our community. That was a fair redistribution of taxes for those who qualify, with having a very minimal impact on the overall tax base. How did I do?
It was good.
Good.
And what we have is consistent with the county and the town.
Correct. So we matched ours to what the maximum allotment allowed and what was provided by Putnam County, and it sounds like maybe the town did the same last evening. And this will be in effect, I think exemptions have to be filed by December of this school year, so we're still way ahead of the schedule.
And that would be, they would see the difference on next year's tax bill, not this year's, correct?
I believe that is correct.
Any other public comments? Okay. So I'm going to open it up to the public to speak on any of the listed agenda items. Seeing no public to speak, we're going to start with the consent agenda.
Resolved to approve the consent agenda, items 2 through 23 as presented to the board at this meeting.
Second.
Questions or comments?
Well, you want to give us a summary of what's in there, please?
That would be the 2025-26 fall coaches, additional hours for staff members, addition to summer worker list, academic eligibility and after-school suspension staff members, school nurses, unpaid leave, CSC, CPSC reports, 25-26 substitute listing, enhanced longevity, graduate course credits, and in-service credits, donation to Putnam Valley Elementary School, release and settlement agreement, Universal Protection Service, LP, doing business as Allied Universal Security Services. RIC 1 Operations Center, reallocation from the General Fund Internal Claims Auditor Report for August 14th, July 24th, July 14th, Internal Claims Auditor warrants for July 2025, Treasurer Report for May and June of 2025, budget transfers from June 25th, 2025 through August 19th, 2025, minutes for July 1st, and minutes for July 21st.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolutions pass. Reports. Dr. Luft.
So we had an exciting day today. It's one of our favorite days, our kindergarten bus run and orientation. Lots of tears shed, mostly by the parents. But it's a great opportunity to meet some of our new families, encourage them to get involved, promise to take good care of their kids and tell them what an amazing year they will have. And like our students go for their first bus ride. I had the opportunity to board several of the buses, talk with the students, help buckle students in, and it was very well received by many. There were some few tears shed, but as I always promise the parents that within a couple minutes of being removed from the parent, it's only the parent who's crying. The student has moved on and having fun in the classroom with their peers. So thank you for everyone who helped put that on. Our TAs were there. Right now, our kindergarten parents are meeting with their teachers for the back to school night this evening, and we're looking forward to getting started. Just some updates with our UPK partnership that we had previously shared. We did our inspections of our spaces and certifications, and we were able to expand the number of seats per classroom from 16 to 20 students per classroom. So we were able to invite another 8 students off of our wait list. So we have essentially exhausted our initial wait list and have now created a second wait list for students. So we're excited to be welcoming 40 students into our UPK program for the first year, beginning on September 2nd. Our elementary school has been busy with our elementary school summer boost programs, our kinder camp, and our extended school year program, which were all housed at the elementary school this year. Again, I want to thank the teachers and administrators who run those programs, and especially our extended year program. Many of those teachers give up the entirety of their summer to work with our students and make that program the success it is. A quick update on our turf and track replacement. So I don't know if anyone has peeked down the hill recently. The turf has been completed for some time now. They've completed paving of the track and the area outside of the fence poles. The fence poles have been installed, and the track surfacing company arrived yesterday. So I think about 6 tractor trailers of equipment and supplies have been onto our campus in the last 2 days, and they are starting their work, have started their work already. So we are slightly behind schedule. A couple of rainstorms had gotten in our way, plus the track surfacing company got held up for a couple extra days. So we're still eagerly trying to meet our deadline to be able to host our first games in the first weekend of, or the first week of September. But we do have contingency plans in place for moving those games if necessary. The good news is that we are not very likely to be having this conversation come October or November, which other districts have had to face and lost entirety of their seasons. So the work progresses. We remain close to being on schedule, and Dave Spittle is certainly staying on top of them to make sure that we get it done as well and as soon as possible. Just some maybe reminders or announcements. Putnam Valley was awarded a green ribbon recognition from New York State, as well as a whole bunch of national organizations. They've sent us banners. We got to go up to the Board of Regents meeting and receive an award on behalf of the district. Dave Spittle starred in a documentary that they are producing about sustainable energy and geothermal, and there was like a film crew here. I almost asked him if there was a makeup artist, but we didn't get that far. He was here. They said they only needed 6 hours of his time. He said you could have a half hour. We'll get into that. So Putnam Valley continues to receive recognition for our work around sustainability, sustainable energies, renewable energy sources. And again, it's not just about saving money for energy sources. There's a whole instructional program that goes along with it. And I know that Dave highlighted that during his conversations with the film crew. Maybe our most exciting news of the summer is the New York State ban on internet-enabled devices. So the Board of Education has set forth a policy. That policy has been shared with the community, along with several communications coming both from the district as well as the building level. We encourage all parents to read through those and understand them. No parent wants to receive the phone call that your child's phone was confiscated and you must come to school to pick it up. I, as a parent, would not be happy to receive that phone call, and I've made sure that my 16 and 13-year-old sons are well aware that I will not be happy to receive that phone call. So we treat this law just like we do any other law. Students are not allowed to smoke cigarettes in class, they're not allowed to vape in class, and they're not allowed to use their cell phone in class because that's what the law says. So we plan on upholding the law as it's written. Students are encouraged to keep their devices at home or keep them securely locked away in their locker. And as was shared with each of the buildings, there's certainly consequences associated for those who are unable to. So we encourage anyone who will struggle with the impulse control to not reach into their bag to grab their phone and lose it, that we encourage them to keep it in home, to keep it in their car, or to keep it in their locker so they don't have that temptation with them. It's bell to bell, so the first bell of the school day to the last bell of the school day. So this ban is inclusive of passing time in hallways as well as lunch periods. So that's all been shared with the community, but we wanted to take an opportunity to remind everyone that that is in fact the law and is part of the district's policy to uphold that law. As we mentioned at the very end of the school year, when it was extremely hot, the district has adopted a policy around extreme heat conditions, when we will remove students from a class and when we will seek mitigation strategies. Being as lucky as we are to have essentially universal air conditioning, we don't anticipate this being an issue here in Putnam Valley, but we do have to, New York State requires that we have that policy in place, so we did adopt that policy at the very end of last school year as well. Looking forward, it's about to get really busy around here. Our new staff orientation and new employee orientation is next Monday and Tuesday. Our superintendent's conference days are scheduled for Wednesday and Thursday next week. We also have a 5th grade orientation next Wednesday at 5 p.m. So anyone with an incoming 5th grader, we encourage you to come participate in that event, meet some of our teachers.
Or new to the middle school.
Or newcomers to the middle school, yes. Our first day of school is September 2nd. There are some conditions to that. Kindergarten classes will be split. We always bring in half a K class at a time, so it allows the teacher to better get acquainted with the students, help the students acclimate to the classroom. So kindergarten only, half the students will be there on Tuesday, the other half on Wednesday, and then they continue as a full class for the remainder of the school year. At the middle school on Tuesday the 2nd, it'll be 5th and 6th grade only. Again, that's an orientation program that's run. Beginning on September 3rd, all middle school students will attend. And in the high school, on the September 2nd, is 9th grade students only. Again, they run an orientation program that's really run mostly by our seniors, who big buddies with our 9th graders. And that is scheduled for the 2nd, and then all students will attend the high school beginning on September 3rd. And then as we look forward to the following weeks, our elementary school has their back to night evenings scheduled September 9th for grades 3 and 4 and September 10th for grades 1 and 2. And middle school back to school nights 5 and 6 on September 16th, 7th and 8th on September 17th. And looking ahead, we'll have another meeting before this, but schools are closed on September 23rd and 24th for Rosh Hashanah, I believe. And that's all I have right now.
That's a lot. Yeah, it's been busy. The schools look wonderful, the grounds look wonderful. You know, they really, they've done a really amazing job. Okay, then we're going to move to, does anybody have any questions for Jeremy? Okay.
I did, hold on. I should point out, we did have an opportunity, several of us met with members of the library board, the town library board, and they're sort of going through a strategic planning, long-term planning process, and they're speaking with community-based organizations all over. The school was, I believe, the first meeting. We had a great conversation about finding opportunities to partner, how we could support each other, what our vision is for the town of Putnam Valley, and how we can collectively work towards achieving that vision. So I thought it was a very productive meeting. We thank them for their time and coming and for involving us in those conversations, and we're looking forward to seeing all the exciting things that the town library will do. Thank you.
And your meeting with the town?
That's it.
Did you mention the meeting with the town?
We did meet with members of the town board as well as the town supervisor. A very similar theme for that meeting was looking for opportunities to partner, how we can support each other, ways in which we share services and could better share services. So we did a very similar meeting this summer with the town supervisor and a member of the town board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's move to new business. We'll start with number 1, please.
Resolved upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education hereby appoints Mariella Boyd to a probationary appointment of Senior Account Clerk effective August 12, 2025, with a probationary period of 52 weeks through August 11, 2026, in the business office on Step 3 of the CSEA salary schedule.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 2, please.
Resolved on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools to appoint Cynthia Serrano to a 4-year probationary term as an E&L teacher, commencing on September 1st, 2025, and terminating on August 31st, 2029, in the tenure area of English speaking other languages at the middle school on Step 1 MA of the PVFT salary schedule. Ms. Serrano holds English to speakers of other languages initial certification.
Second.
Questions or comments? This makes how many E&L teachers at the middle school?
2 per building, 6 district-wide.
2 per building. Okay.
So now we have 2 full-time dedicated. We don't have anyone split between buildings anymore.
Very good.
Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 3, please.
Resolved on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools to appoint Laura Sherwood as a sub-data specialist effective August 15th, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 at an hourly rate of $44.85, not to exceed $35,000.
Second.
Questions or comments?
I have one.
So
Go ahead.
So just a point of clarification here. So Laura Sherwood did retire as a full-time employee from the district at the end of last school year. We did a search to replace her position. We had a part-time individual who was moved up to that full-time position to replace Laura's, but that created a vacancy for the part-time position. And in speaking with Michael Lee and other members, we made the decision that Laura would be an excellent person to fill that part-time position because the salary cannot exceed $35,000. That would allow her to continue in that position even without the state waiver. So it's really, we essentially moved up a part-time person to full-time, and she retired, and now she'll be serving the district as a part-time employee underneath the amount that would require any sort of waiver in the future. And we're just simply paying her at the same hourly rate she was making there. She has a very unique set of skills and talents, and I know part of our plan for the upcoming year is for her to work to transfer those skills and talents onto the full-time individual who replaced her. Did that answer your question?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 4, please.
Resolved on recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the amendment to the appointment step of Jenna Gargano, approved at the business meeting of June 12, 2025, to reflect Step 1BA of the PVFT salary schedule.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 5, please.
Resolved on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education hereby appoints Kimberly Zern to an appointment of school monitor effective September 2nd, 2025, with a probationary period of 52 weeks through September 1st, 2026, at the middle school on Step 1 of the CSEA salary schedule.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 6, please.
Resolved on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby accepts the resignation of Stephanie Gambelli, school monitor, from the district effective August 4th, 2025, as per document SG082125, attached to the agenda and official minutes of this meeting.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Resolution passes. Number 7, please.
Resolved on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby accepts the resignation of Joanna Jackson, senior account clerk, from the district effective July 14th, 2026, as per doc number JJ0825, attached to the agenda and the official minutes of this meeting.
Second.
Questions or comments? Why are we having documents with letters in the beginning? Is this a new thing?
It's the way our district clerk stays organized.
Okay, all right. I thought I had figured out the system before, now I have to learn a new system. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 8, please.
Resolved on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools to accept the resignation for the purpose of retirement of teacher Joseph Mahoney from the district effective June 30th, 2026, as per document number JM0825, attached to the agenda and official minutes of this meeting.
Second.
Questions or comments?
Well, obviously, we'll have a full year to recognize the contributions of Joe Mahoney to the district. I did want to take this opportunity to recognize the many years of service he's provided to Putnam Valley and the students of Putnam Valley School District, and he will certainly be deeply missed when he retires at the end of this school year.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? The resolution passes. Number 9, please.
Resolved on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby accepts the resignation of Jonathan Aguila, campus monitor, effective 8/26/2025, for the purpose of accepting another position in the district as per document JA082125 and in the official minutes of this meeting.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 10, please.
Resolved on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby accepts the resignation of Holly Keeler, effective August 26, 2025, for the purposes of accepting another position in the district as per document number HK082125 and in the official minutes of this meeting.
Second.
Questions or comments? I'm glad at least some of these resignations are finding another place in the district, so I think that's
People
nice.
moving
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 11, please. Where are we? Whose turn?
Oh, me. Sorry. Resolved upon recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby appoints Danielle Palico to a temporary retroactive appointment as a senior office assistant effective July 1st, 2025 on step 3 of the CSEA senior office assistant salary schedule, and a 26-week probationary promotional appointment as a senior office assistant effective August 11th, 2025 through February 6th, 2026.
Second.
Questions or comments?
So both this one and the next resolution are recognizing the efforts of two Danielles, ironically, who have been fantastic additions to the school district for several years now. Each of them entered as an office assistant, but entered into a role that was historically filled with a senior office assistant, and have proven themselves worthy of that title, have completed their examinations, and are both being recommended for promotion to the sort of the rightful title for each of the seats they hold.
Thank you. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 12, please.
Resolved upon recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby appoints Danielle Dearman to a temporary retroactive appointment as a senior office clerk effective July 1st, 2025, on step 4 of the CSEA senior office assistant salary schedule, and a 26-week probationary promotional appointment as a senior office assistant effective August 11th, 2025 through February 6th, 2026.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 13, please.
Resolved upon recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools that the Board of Education hereby appoints Jonathan Aguila to a probationary appointment as a teacher aide commencing August 27th, 2025, with a probationary period of 52 weeks through August 26, 2025, at the elementary school on Step 2 of the CSEA salary schedule.
Second.
Questions or comments?
I think his name is spelled incorrectly here.
I'm sorry?
His last name is spelled incorrectly.
There's an I.
I don't know how much that matters, but I believe his
It's the
last
same
name
guy.
is Aguilar.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. That was 14, right? 15, please.
Aguilar.
Did I
Okay.
skip one?
14.
14.
We're on 14,
14,
correct?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Resolved upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools that the Board of Education hereby appoints Holly Keeler to a 4-year probationary term as a teaching assistant commencing on September 1st, 2025 and terminating on August 31st, 2029 in the teaching assistant tenure area of Step 1 on the CSEA salary schedule and in accordance with the PVCSD Policy 9250. Ms. Keeler holds teaching assistant level 1 certification.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. And her name will be corrected on
Thank you.
the minutes. Number 15, please.
Resolved upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education hereby enters into an agreement for this education of secondary students from the Garrison Union Free School District as per document number GAR 082125 attached to the agenda and official minutes of this meeting.
Second.
Questions or comments?
So this is just a continuation of our existing contract with the Garrison School District to allow them to tuition their students in the Putnam Valley School District, and each year that's associated with an increase in that rate of pay of CPI or 2%.
And how many students is Garrison sending us this year?
10?
Okay.
No? What?
7 or 8,
Eight.
you think?
I'm not prepared to answer that question.
Okay, that's all right.
I'll find the answer.
All right. They're going to all mix in with our, tell them apart, so it's fine. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 16, please.
Resolved on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools to approve and authorize the President of the Board of Education to sign a school year food service management company contract with Whitson's Nutritional LLC for the 2025-2026 school year as per document number WN 082125 attached to the agenda and official minutes of this meeting.
Second.
Questions or comments?
All right, so this one deserves a little background information. End of last school year, we were approached by the Garrison School District about a possible partnership related to food service. They do not currently serve food in Garrison School District's building. They don't have any hot food, no food served. Everything has to be bought with them. So,
I didn't know that.
so they have some money dedicated to build sort of a servery, but they don't have the ability or space or money to build a whole kitchen. So they were looking to partner with a school district that would essentially cook the food, and then Garrison would be responsible for transporting and serving that food over in their district. It was something that I was willing to entertain, and it was something we spoke to our food services about. And over the course, we quickly realized that that plan wasn't going to really work out as we anticipated. So while I was probably more willing to walk away from it than others, I do want to give Dr. Chan credit because she, in working with a food service consultant as well as individuals from the Garrison School District, found a way to not only do this, but to do it in a way that is now going to allow not only Garrison students to receive lunch, but to receive free lunch. And it's going to happen in a way where Putnam Valley actually gets the rebate on those meals that are served. So it really turned out to be a win-win situation. In order to make this happen, we had to go back out for bid because it was a change in conditions with Whitson's. Whitson's is our current food service provider. So they rebid on us to keep us along with the additional Garrison students. And financially, it's actually turned out to be advantageous for us. We're now going to receive a better rebate, and we're going to receive more of them because we're going to receive them for the Garrison students. And it's really a win for Garrison because now Garrison is not only able to provide high quality lunches and maybe breakfast in the future, but for now lunches, but they're going to be able to do it for the Garrison students free of charge, which they wouldn't have otherwise been able to do. So I do want to recognize that this was a tremendous amount of effort and insight in order to make this happen, which at the time we weren't sure whether it was going to harm us, hurt us, or have no benefit to us. But Dr. Chan really believed in it and partnering with them, and it turned out to be something that was extremely beneficial for both districts. So in a few short words, there was a lot accomplished that this resolution
That's what I'm
recognizes.
saying. Dr.
Yes.
Chen,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you for
Chen.
that. And the kids in Garrison, I'm sure, are going to thank you as well.
Yes.
And
Parents,
collaborated
we
with,
don't
Like
have-
the Dr. Chen Memorial Lunch.
It's going to infringe on when the 8th graders come over and visit. They're most excited about being able to come to lunch and have hot lunch. So it's
The
gonna-
panini line
We're going to
is
have to come up with
famously long.
some better way to serve them food when they're here.
Yep.
Outstanding.
And Dr. Luff, we want to thank you for supporting
Yes.
Dr. Chan in those efforts so that she could creatively figure out ways to continue to support our district.
Absolutely.
Yes, love the creativity.
So I know that Garrison is having a board meeting right now as well, and I spoke with their superintendent earlier this week, and he wanted to make sure it was okay that he shared this information, but is very excited to be able to sort of publicly disclose this for the first time this
Wonderful.
evening, that this is something they've never been able to do before, which they will now be able to do thanks to their partnership with Putnam Valley.
Great, amazing.
That's great. Any other questions or comments? Jack?
just to answer the question from before, we have 7 students coming.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jackie.
Okay.
After they eat lunch, there's going to be 10.
That's
I
right.
was forecasting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 17, please.
Again, we have to read this whole thing?
Yes.
You
Any
got
word.
you drew the short
What are you
straw.
doing?
this one or the longer next one.
I know. Crystal has that.
He already informed me.
Okay. Resolved on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools that school taxes be extended against the taxable property of the towns of Putnam Valley, Carmel, and Cortland, as appears on a tax list, hereby are levied. And be it further resolved that this board execute warrants on August 22nd, 2025 for each of the towns. For the town of Putnam Valley to be effective September 1st, 2025. School taxes in the amount of $37,966,979.72, less star. And on behalf of the Putnam Valley Library, taxes in the amount of $430,791.31 as per document TXPVO82125 attached to the official minutes of this meeting on file in the district office. And the town of Carmel to be effective September 1st, 2025, school taxes in the amount of $112,570.12, less star. And on behalf of the Putnam Valley Library, taxes in the amount of $1,277.27 as per document TXCLOX2125, attached to the official minutes of this meeting on file in the district office. And the town of Cortland to be effective September 1st, 2025, school taxes in the amount of $4,488,745.16, less star. And on behalf of the Putnam Valley Library, taxes in the amount of $50,931.42 as per document TXCT082125, attached to the official minutes of this meeting on file in the district office. That these warrants be for that portion of the district lying in the towns of Putnam Valley, Carmel, and Cortland, and the collection periods end October 31st, 2025, that said warrants are delivered to the tax collector of Cortland and Putnam Valley. And be it further resolved that the collector may make no changes or alterations in the warrant or rolls except as provided in section 551 through 558 of the real property tax law, and shall issue tax statements and make collections pursuant to the applicable provisions of the real property tax law.
Well done.
Second.
Questions or comments?
Crystal saving yourself for the next
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 18, please.
You sure?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, we're
You don't want
sure.
us to?
No, not me. That's Crystal.
I am absolutely honored to be able to do number 18. All right. Whereas the Board of Education of the Putnam Valley Central School District, the district, believes that attracting and retaining quality volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers is a critical problem facing communities within the district boundaries, and that maintaining effective emergency protection depends on the ability to train and retain volunteers, and whereas the Board of Education further believes that real property tax exemptions are an incentive to attract new volunteers and maintain such volunteers, as well as to recognize the dedication and hard work of these volunteers who unselfishly give their time and risk their safety to protect their neighbors without compensation, and whereas the Board of Education wishes to adopt the provisions of Section 466A of the Real Property Tax Law, which would grant a partial exemption from school taxes of a certain residential real property located in the district used as the primary residence of certain enrolled members of an incorporated volunteer fire company or fire department, volunteer firefighters, and incorporated volunteer ambulance service, volunteer ambulance workers located within the district. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education, after having given the public an opportunity to be heard at a public hearing on August 21st, 2025, hereby adopts the provisions of Section 466A of the Real Property Tax Law and provides to volunteer firefighters and volunteer ambulance workers who have at least 5 years of applicable service in an incorporated volunteer fire company, department, or incorporated volunteer ambulance service located within the district a partial tax exemption from school taxes to the extent of 10% of the assessed value of the property, as certified by the applicable assessor and subject to statutory requirements for assessment rolls prepared on the basis of taxable status dates occurring on or after the date of approval of this resolution. And be it further resolved that the board further adopts the provision of such law that grants volunteer firefighters and volunteer ambulance workers that accrue more than 20 years of active service as certified by the applicable assessor the 10% exemption from school taxes as set forth above for the remainder of their life as long as their primary residence is located within the district, subject to statutory requirements, and be it further resolved that the board further adopts the provision of such law that extends or reinstates the tax exemption to any qualified unmarried spouse of a deceased volunteer firefighter and volunteer ambulance worker, as long as the deceased volunteer firefighter or ambulance worker had at least 20 years of applicable service in an incorporated volunteer fire company, department, or incorporated volunteer ambulance service located within the district and had been receiving the exemption prior to their death as certified by the applicable assessor and subject to applicable statutory requirements. And be it further resolved that the board further adopts the provision of such law that extends or reinstates the exemption to any qualified unremarried spouse of a volunteer firefighter and volunteer ambulance worker killed in the line of duty, as long as the volunteer firefighter or ambulance worker had at least 5 years of active service in an incorporated fire company, department, or incorporated voluntary ambulance service located within the district, and had been receiving the exemption prior to their death as certified by the applicable assessor and subject to applicable statutory requirements. And be it further resolved that the district clerk is directed to send a certified copy of this resolution to the assessor of any municipality which comprises the Putnam Valley Central School District.
Second.
Sasha, are you going to second it?
She said. I said
Oh,
second.
you did, I'm sorry, I missed it.
Yeah.
After all that, I would
Questions
hope
or
you would second.
comments?
Oh, yeah, I seconded it. No, actually, read it again.
Yeah.
I have a question. How do we confirm annually who's eligible for the exemption?
The tax assessor is.
Okay, so how do we confirm that she has done that, she or he?
I mean, we get our tax rolls from
Okay.
them. Like, they report to the county, and the county gives us the tax. So we never, there's nobody in the district who's responsible or has any ability to kind of
Validate?
validate that. It's done through the assessor and the county.
Okay.
We just get the bills that tell us what the amounts are.
Okay.
Okay. Any other
The
questions? or
fire and
comments?
the ambulance department keep track of those individuals who have seniority and years in service.
But they have to
So-
turn it in yearly to the county.
And to the state of New York. They're
Okay.
audited for that, especially as either the municipality or the school district allows us tax exemption. They have to report their stats to the state as they report them to us, or the assessor.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes.
Do you want us to add that language to the resolution? We could have Crystal read it again?
That's okay. I trust her. But
Want to go again?
number 7, do we need to read that again? Since we changed the date. Effective July 14, 2025 versus 26.
Oh, that's fine. We corrected 2 of the dates, and number 7, the effective date was July 14th, 2026. And on number 13, we already corrected the date for the probationary period ending August 26, 2026. So it's already been updated in the system, so it'll be part of the minutes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, upcoming meetings.
So our next board meeting is scheduled for September 11th to be held right here, and the meeting after that will be September 25th.
Okay,
At some point, we'll need to talk about the assigning presentations. I know we have a data presentation we usually do in the spring, once the data is fully available, as well as others. So we can, I guess maybe in board comments, start to talk about or think about what are some of the presentations the board would like to see before we get to the busy budget season.
Could one of the presentations, or 2 of the presentations, be the demographics? In other words, population per grade level?
Yeah, we'll do that as part of the data presentation.
And also, I know it would only be preliminary, but the amount of kids attending the tech center as well?
Sure. Yeah, but that's always part of that presentation
Great.
as well.
Thank you.
Pretty soon, we'll be starting to have the buildings come in and give their building updates, beginning of school updates, as we do every year. But if there's any other presentations the board would like to see, other than the data one, we'll make sure all that information's in there. We can start talking about it so we can schedule those.
Okay.
But I would say as early as the 25th will probably be our first opening of schools update for the buildings.
Yeah, I'd love to see historical state data, just last maybe 5 years, on how we've performed on ELA and Math 3 through 8 and Science for the last 2, if possible. I know the principals usually do their iReady data, right? Okay, thank you.
okay,
And we also, not a presentation, but need to have board goals on our agenda.
right. We'll
Yes.
talk about that on comments. So let's open it up for public comments on any topic.
Good evening, anyone? Everyone?
evening.
Not anyone, everyone. My name is
Hi,
Joe
Joe.
Ferraro, and I'm just a few things. I want to say hello. I found an error on your meeting dates. The BOCES vote date is a Tuesday, but the date is actually a Wednesday, so in your schedule, it's just not correct. Thank you for, even though you're required to by law, by Section 259, collecting library taxes for us, but I want to thank you for accommodating and doing that for us. The Putnam Valley Long Range Planning Community Conversations started today. As Dr. Luff mentioned, it was a very productive meeting, and while you were in your executive session, you probably received an email from me as trustees asking you to be involved as a trustee in that conversation, so we look forward to having that conversation, and I hope everybody has a good start to the new year.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Joe, no bubbles?
Only
Hey,
the end of the
Joe.
school year.
How do we get the dates to be more involved in the library? Can we get put on an email list?
Absolutely.
I don't know if anybody else.
Have a conversation in our conversation.
Okay.
Okay, board member comments, one of which is the letter of advocacy. Sam, you want to talk about that a little? or-
Yeah, for quite a while, many of you may be aware that New York State has mandated that all districts go to full electric buses by 20, originally it was 28, around there. They moved it to 2035. I've always believed that is an onerous mandate to put on any district. Every district is different. If they want to do it for New York City, I can understand that. It's a very crowded urban environment. Any cut down on, diesel and or gasoline fumes, the carbon emissions would make sense there. But in rural areas, Putnam County North, I think it's the most ridiculous thing ever put forward. I'm a big believer in the hybrids. They, reduce emissions amazingly well, and it's something that's affordable for our districts. With the current administration, whether you approve or not, the fact of the matter is that those discounts that were rumored to be handed out and buying these buses or doing anything in the green, save the green, environment, they no longer exist. Just the other day, there were statements out of the executive branch stating that all wind power and solar power will no longer be funded or supported by the government, and that includes these electric buses. So I asked the board and to do a letter of advocacy to Albany to ask them to please reconsider this. And a letter was put together by Dr. Luft and Melody based upon one sent out of Mayapack, I believe, Mayapack School District. So I fully support that idea. Albany has to understand they can't mandate these things on a whim. They have to research and investigate. And I do not believe that was the case for this mandate. I think it was just like a gut shot, boom, we're going to do this because it sounds good, without considering the financial and the safety factors involved. We have sometimes some very cold days here. This past January, we averaged well below the normal rating, and anything below 20 degrees for an all-electric vehicle or above 90 degrees for an all-electric vehicle wears the battery out. 50% of its power is gone before you even start in those environments. It puts our kids at risk. So I love this letter of advocacy. It was well written, and it would represent to the state that Putnam Valley School District cares about our kids, cares about the environment, and we request that they reevaluate and come forward with a better idea, or at least a lot more money to help us buy those things if that's what they want.
So just the point of clarification, the state has not yet moved off of their timelines, which are there by 2027, we will not be allowed to purchase gas-powered buses, and by 2035, our entire fleet must be electric buses. So they haven't moved off of those deadlines since the inception of
They're
it.
still doing a 2027 nonsense?
Yep,
That's
2020.
why this letter is so, we're
That's
not going
the
to get money.
2020. After 2027, you can no longer purchase gas-powered buses. That's the first deadline.
Any provision for hybrids, that's the way to go. I know our district.
I don't think they even make hybrid buses. I don't think they're even produced.
They don't make them? They
Not that
make the little
not that I
buses.
know of.
Little, yeah.
The little ones they do, right?
We have hybrid vans,
Yeah.
but I don't think even any of the small or large school buses.
Okay.
Not that I know of. I've never seen a hybrid.
I mean, Dr. Luff, you're familiar with this. Dr. Chan, you're familiar with this. I mean, it's double the cost, one of these electric buses compared to a gas-powered. It makes no sense to me. It
And
really
shorter
does.
lifespan, right? Half the lifespan. The buses.
Yeah, right.
So you have to,
And
instead
you have
of
to build the
lasting 20 years.
infrastructure. How do you charge them? You got to put up these charging stations, which is additional cost to the taxpayers. If Albany wants these mandates, have Albany pay for them, not on the back of our taxpayers who are stressed as it is. I love that letter of advocacy.
Yeah, that was in the letter.
It's excellent, Dr. Luff. Thank you.
Suggestions
Melanie.
for-
Everybody was involved in putting that together. It states the case. It puts out good evidence. Go with it. Let's send that out.
So
And
who would we send it to? Both?
I would do it with Holcomb, Slater, Harcum,
Rollison is our
and the
senator.
Department of Education.
Rob Rollison is our state
Yeah,
senator.
that's right. Rolston is ours. Putnam is Westchester.
Donald Trump, too.
So what do we have to do in order to send this letter? Does the board
Well-
have to approve it, or?
So what we would do is, and first of all, while I appreciate the credit, really, Melody drafted the letter, so she deserves all of the credit.
It's excellent.
So what we would do is we have a conversation this evening. If it's the will of the board to move forward, we will draft letters that will then appear via resolution at our next board meeting. The board, by approving that resolution, will give permission for Melody to send those letters on behalf of the entire board. And between now and then, we'll have an opportunity for you guys to sign the letters themselves.
Okay, all right,
I
sounds
think
like
it's
a plan?
Yeah, great.
Perfect. I
Any-
like it.
Yeah, like
So
it.
we could put a resolution on for September 11th and then send them that day, or the next following day.
Thank you.
Good,
Sounds
good.
good.
Wonderful.
Excellent. Great letter.
Great letter, yeah.
Okay, other board members. Crystal, you went to the town, and you also went to the advocacy meeting of
Yes, so
West
you and
Putnam.
I spent some time on the screen on Monday night at the,
It got darker and darker behind you, so,
yes, yes.
no, when you were sitting outside.
Oh, I
right?
was sitting outside, yes. I was trying to enjoy the weather while it lasts. Trying not to cry about summer being over. So we went to the Westchester Putnam School Boards Association Advocacy Committee, Barbara and I. It was a great learning experience for me, having been my first meeting. Barbara has been there many a time. But we discussed the agenda from last year, had a conversation around what the agenda would be for this year. There is a conversation regarding some recent court rulings around the age 22 for our special education students, which I know Ms. Estrella is in knowledge about and working on. And so that was a big conversation. Of course, this new cell phone policy was also another conversation. And one of the things that I brought up as I think being a really good bang for our buck as far as advocacy being time that the powers that be give us to be able to implement new policy. I think that is really important. This cell phone policy was very rushed. While I agree with it and love the fact that our children will be phoneless throughout the day, and that's my personal opinion, it was way too rushed to do it well. And I think that we all feel, based on our conversations with this new policy, that it is a living and breathing document, and we're going to live it and be receptive to feedback from all stakeholders, teachers, staff, parents, students, administration, because it is a shift in culture, and that is what I mentioned at the board meeting last night, because I wanted the community to know, because it is the board's will for the community to know that we are working alongside the community, and we hope that the community will partner with us to be able to establish something that makes sense for everyone, especially our children. And so that was the gist of the meeting from the advocacy team. And last night, I will say that the cell phone policy itself was very well received at the board meeting last night. So I thought that was great. And additionally, we talked about the fact that school is starting in just a couple of weeks, and for everybody to be looking out for our students. And we celebrated the fact that we are now having 40 students come to pre-K, which is just so wonderful. I feel like we're not celebrating enough the fact that we get another year with these babies. So it's really exciting what's happening in Putnam Valley. Again, it was a full house at the board meeting last night for Putnam Valley, so that was exciting that there were lots of people there to hear this information. And we also talked about the fact that we want to continue to build our community relations with the town. And the sharing of our resources, as we have done for the town camp, as well as town day, sharing our buses, sharing fuel costs. We talked about all of that, and we look forward to having some more reciprocity in that way.
Great. The next town board meeting is September 17th.
Okay.
So, Sam, you want to go?
Yeah,
or?
I'd like that. That'd be
Okay.
great.
Um,
I'll put that down on the
I will-
calendar right now.
I will,
Please excuse me for using a cell phone during this proceeding.
I
But
will,
otherwise, I'll
The
forget.
adult ban is in.
I will try to pass along a list of things to mention. I gave
That'd
it
be
to
great.
Crystal, and that
Yep.
way you have a thing.
Yeah, that was very helpful. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, the NYSBA, New York State School Boards Association, convention is being held in October. Crystal, you're going, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
I I looked at the prices and I said, oh no, it's like twice as much to go in person as to stay home and watch it on your computer.
I did it last year online and it was great.
No, and this year they have more stuff online.
Oh.
But it's
I loved
still not the same as being it in person.
Definitely not the same.
I really liked being on my couch.
Did you see the robots?
Take it or leave it.
Yes, I did.
I learned a lot though. It was
Dr.
So
great.
are you
Luft
going to
and I
go,
saw
are you
Sophia
going to
last
sign
year,
up to
yes.
go virtually? You haven't
I
decided?
can't make any choices right now. I'm currently moving 3 different houses and I'm having just to, so
And
I
you're
can't make any
driving every
choices,
day?
but next
I am
next
driving
month.
every day,
So
as I did
would you
last
take
year.
a passenger?
I will 100% take a passenger. I would
Okay.
love a passenger,
Melody, I'll go with Crystal in person.
because I have kids.
You can't go this year, right, Jeremy? You've got someplace else
I
to
might do
go.
the virtual, but yeah,
What do I have to decide?
it's not worth me to sign up.
Okay. The other thing is the annual meeting, which is the 8 or 10-hour meeting, is October 16th. Melody has to sign one of us up to be the rep. So,
October 16th.
Crystal, now that you're serving on advocacy, I didn't know if you wanted to do it. It's a lot of hours,
Okay.
It is.
you know, when you're trying to
That's
get
when they go
dinner
through the
and lunch
resolutions,
and
right?
Exactly.
it's all the resolutions. So I don't mind doing it, but I didn't want to assume that it would be me, so I didn't tell Melody who to put down. You can watch, you can
Barbara,
watch,
if you are willing to take that hit for the team, I'm good.
you can
Somebody
watch.
wants to pry it out of your hands.
I could watch.
Anybody
listen.
can watch, you just don't vote.
You do a great job.
I think
You
that's
do.
your thing.
And-
So-
Barbara, do you want to do that?
Yeah, I like doing
Okay,
it.
then,
likes to
yeah,
do it,
then
yeah.
that sounds like an excellent choice for you.
Yeah.
They said good answer.
So Melody, when they ask for who's the annual meeting rep, you can put me down, that way they'll
She
register.
does a
Very
great job.
knowledgeable, yeah.
Thank you, Barbara.
Okay.
Yes, we thank you for that.
Just realized our
Oh, then we're all in line behind
Huh?
you.
So our audience knows.
Our audience is double. Okay, so I know you saw Melody sent out the 2 spreadsheets, one for our policy review committee.
Yes.
The 5-year look back at all of our policies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether you two are the policy committee, whether you feel that it's doable, whether you feel like I'm not sure how to proceed from here. I don't know whether you two want to meet and go, I'm not sure how you want to review this.
I would like to defer to Dr. Luft and pick out those things that most importantly
Right.
have to be done.
So there's 2 things that are going to happen simultaneously. One is, as necessary updates are recommended, they'll be brought up to the board regardless of where they fit in the policy.
Yep.
Whether it's 0 series or the 9,000 series, that'll continue to come up. And I think Melody linked what those have been over the last couple of years. It's actually a significant number over the last couple of years of policy updates that have been made throughout the year. So that work will continue. The other piece of the work was we had made sort of a commitment, now that we just over a 2-year period rewrote all of our policies, that we want to now stay on top of it.
Right.
So we're not
Right.
finding ourselves in a place 5 years from now, we're rewriting them all again. So what this schedule is now going back through them. It's essentially a reread. I imagine the changes will probably be very minimal,
Yep.
but it's another set of eyes, another chance to glance through it, another quick conversation. So I would like to continue a process very similar to how we did the first time around. It'll just be now drawn out. So I think it's the 0s and the 0 series and the 1,000 series would be our first, and we would do that in the fall. So we'll just pick a date in the fall. We'll share those policies with policy board members, if you two are going to continue. And then we'll simply have a meeting and we'll go through it and we'll talk about any proposed changes or anything that we want to see done. And then we'll do another one in the winter, and the spring's crazy, so we're not doing any there. So we'll sort of, over a 5-year period, we will have reread each of the policies that we had sort of revamped over the last 2 years. But now we'll just have a continuous cycle
Right.
of review.
So we don't do it all at one time.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, I'd like to remain on that.
Okay.
committee
Me
if
too.
That'd be
possible.
great.
Yeah.
I would also like the rest of the board you see on the schedule what they're going to be looking over, just read it over. like in case you have an idea or thought or a suggestion how to make it better or whatever.
Right,
you can-
obviously, any proposed changes will be brought before the board anyway, so
Right.
anyone would have an opportunity to provide feedback on what they would like to see changed.
Right. The second spreadsheet was, we had set as a goal, one of the things that we wanted to do was set out a kind of a, what meetings and what things have to be done in what months, a kind of calendar of the year. It's nice when you look at July and they're all checked, yay! So I looked at August and you could check off the business meeting, we can check off the kindergarten run. We're not having a board retreat, so that's checked off. A walkthrough tour of the buildings, we're all familiar with the buildings. I don't know if that's important this year. I mean, I think it's a good thing to leave on in case you have new board members.
A walking tour of the track when it's done. I'd like that.
We can do that.
Okay.
I would like to do a tour of the buildings each year. I think that's important because it's not necessarily about knowing the building, it's about knowing and seeing that the building is ready for opening.
Okay.
And I think that that's important. It also allows us to see the work that our custodial staff has done under Dave's leadership so that we can celebrate it. And that's easier to do if we're able to see it firsthand.
That's easy. We're here all day, every day, so
Okay.
you guys,
So why don't
whatever.
you pick a one?
No. You guys figure out what works for your schedule.
Yeah,
'Cause
I agree.
Yours will be
I
much,
mentioned that's a highlight of mine, to see
Yes.
their facilities.
Okay, so what-
your schedules will be far more difficult to.
Right,
So
what-
you guys come up with a time that works for you, and we'll make sure that if it's not myself or Dave, we'll make sure someone's
Prior
available
to the
take
next
you
board
through.
meeting?
Can we do it?
Oh, that's a great idea.
Ooh, maybe by the next board meeting or coinciding with like the new teacher orientation. I know they do the bus run then, but like if we can have like consolidated, we can put that with something else.
Could we
Opposed to
attach
having
it to the
another day.
next board meeting? Like do,
Like an hour before the next board meeting?
I'm okay with that. The 11th?
that would work. That would be
As long as
fine.
we don't
I
have
would like that
executives.
too. I don't know
Is
if we
there-
all need to go, but I'd like to do it.
So like at 6,
Mhm.
we'll meet at the elementary school and then do 1, 2, 3,
Mhm.
and then we'd be here by
Yeah.
7? Think an hour is enough
Does that
time
work
to
for
go through all
everyone?
3 buildings?
Extra
hustle.
bonus if we can see the boiler.
Huh?
Extra bonus if we can see the boiler.
Sure. If you dare go down there, I will
wanna go
take you down there.
downstairs.
Do you think an hour is enough time?
No, an hour would not be enough to do all 3 buildings.
An hour and a half?
5:30?
Bring your walking shoes.
You
We got
think
our
an hour and a
steps,
half,
guys.
5:30? Do
5:30.
the
Or
elementary
if
school
we-
for half an hour and then we have...
Or
We-
not everybody has to go. If you feel like you don't need to
Right.
go, that's fine.
Or if we don't get them all done in one, we can schedule in whatever remaining building the next time if we want.
Yeah,
what
I
do you
think
wanna
6
do?
is the earliest I'm going to be able to make it.
Yeah, I think we can do it.
Okay.
I think we can do an hour if we're there at 6.
So
Yeah,
we'll
I
start
don't
at
think I can
6
get
and
there
see how it
before
goes.
6.
We'll leave the high school for last because we could do the high school before any board meeting.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like
Okay.
that idea.
Okay, perfect.
that's a great idea.
We
Thank
wanted
you.
to discuss our board goals. I think Crystal did these flies are making me crazy.
What did I do?
No, I think your possible board goals for discussion that you had sent at the end of our retreat was really well thought out. I'd like to put it again in a kind of a spreadsheet, like who's gonna do it and
Yeah.
how is it gonna be done?
Yeah. So I have some thoughts on how we can progress monitor whatever goals we choose. And I have a format that I use for the rest of the areas of my life that really works very well about making it a SMART goal, making sure that everybody has kind of like their job, their own goal, right? And then just check-ins. We can check in throughout the school year to see how it's going.
Okay, so are we gonna formalize it? Because it should go on the website under board goals.
Absolutely. So the goals themselves, we'll continue to use, I guess, the process that we've always used, so long as that's what everybody wants. We might want to consider having a progress monitoring protocol added to our protocol document to be able to monitor our goals. Because that was something that we all felt we wanted to do better. So
We should
maybe it's
also
a
put it
goal
on
to
what
pro-
meeting we want, like on that, the thing that we're filling out right now, like what month by month. We should figure out if we want to do it quarterly or every 6 months and make sure that we put
That's
it
exactly right.
on that timeline.
So that's a part of the process is to figure out what the checkpoints are, when they are, and then to write them down and calendarize them.
Yes.
So that they actually happen.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, so how are we gonna do that? Are you gonna
we can, whenever we talk about the goals, we can set up that process, talk about that process.
Well, do you want to do, at the next meeting, we may have, I don't want to make the next meeting, what are we going to do at the next?
Do we
It's
want to
really
monitor
very
it every
simple.
6 months? Why don't we monitor it every 6 months and put it on the timeline now?
My suggestion would be once a quarter.
Once a quarter. Quarter
Once a
sounds
quarter,
great.
because
Every
the
4
goals
months.
are for 10 months essentially, because the school year is 10 months, right? I mean, I guess goals could happen in July, but probably not. So it would really just be checking in, like at the end of each quarter,
Okay,
on the goals
okay.
and monitoring the progress, determining, prior to that, what the action steps are to attain the goal. That's the piece I think that we can do a little bit better.
Let me
Be
just-
established,
Right.
more than anything else, yeah.
Right, it's just like, how do we get there?
Right.
And who's responsible for those steps?
Right.
And, are they happening? And if they're not happening, what is the barrier for why they are not happening and how do we deal with it?
Okay, we had said that we were going to review the cell phone policy mid-year, so maybe we'd
Yes.
give it a little more time, not quarterly,
Okay,
to gather the data.
Yeah.
Because I think
Yeah, quarterly may
2.5
be too-
months is
too
going to
quick.
be, I think we're still going to be in the tripping over ourselves period.
okay,
So we could make that goal mid-year. Engaging the community in budget and bond information.
yeah, we need to set up action steps for that, for sure,
Right.
because that just doesn't happen.
Creating and implementing a board timeline, we've got that. I think that's good, but we should check that we're following it and still doing it. The board handbook, I'd be happy to work with Melody on and we can check on the progress.
Don't we have one?
We have a protocols document.
So we have protocols. The conversation was taking those protocols along with other resources and putting them more into almost like a binded book, including the board policies, so the policies that...
All the policies?
No, just the governance
Just the
ones,
governance.
just the ones that pertain specifically to the Board of Education members. So to sort of
That
create...
shouldn't be too tough.
No, it's a lot of information we already have, and I know that Melody has already
Just
began
curating
collating
it.
that together, yeah,
Just putting it together.
into
Right.
one document.
And then a timeline for report, so that's good. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll,
Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
so I can, I guess we'll have our discussion about setting the goals next meeting. And then once those are just determined, I can set up a document that will help us to progress monitor them.
okay,
Okay.
that'd be great, thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Chris.
I attended NYSBA's Leadership in Education, one of the 2 days. It was really good. There was a lot of talk about the new portrait of a student, which I think is something that we should talk about as it develops. I mean, for the first time, the state's given us like 4 years to implement this, so that's a good thing. It's not all like, oh, you have to do it tomorrow.
We already finished ours in our summer retreat.
Yeah.
We have a little
High achievers.
schematic, or what do you want to call it, graphic, that represents our portrait of a graduate.
And I think we all need one. I also attended the Summer Law Conference, and I will say, again, I am amazed every time I attend, and I don't attend every year, or haven't, but every time I attend, I'm amazed at how much the law has changed in a year. Education law, I'm not talking about the law in general, I'm just talking about focused on education. We got a thing from NYSBA saying that they had the new 2025-26 law manual. I asked Melody, it's like $500 for the manual, something ridiculous. But they have a digital copy
For the
that.
ed law book,
the
it's
ed law.
$500?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
crazy.
my God.
So,
It's like a textbook,
but
like a
there's,
school textbook.
for not quite that much, but close, but they will give us a digital copy. And Melody's gonna order the digital
Oh, that's great.
and make it accessible to all of us.
That's great.
So that
Why
you,
on earth is that so expensive? I've purchased
To deter people from
the
like a
ed
school
law book
textbook.
for about
And-
$40.
Yeah,
And we
it's
can't even
years
do
ago.
Control F.
Yeah.
They're using it to subsidize the electric buses.
Oh, my
That's where the profits are coming.
Yeah, somebody's making money off of that, $500.
I know, it's a lot of money. Maybe it wasn't quite that, but it was. But anyway, when it becomes available, she will link it somehow.
Can it be,
What did you say,
can the
Melanie?
library buy a copy?
Go ahead, what? Yeah, so she will make it available, you can put a link on your computer, and so she's gonna do that for us.
I can't understand. It's that expensive.
It's a college textbook.
I mean, 10 years ago, I honestly got it, bought one for like $40, you know, the Ed book. I mean, what happened?
District goals are on our agenda, but we're not ready there yet,
Yeah,
right?
so
It's
our
more like-
next admin meeting is primarily focused on building and district level goal setting.
So we will probably do that in September, one of the meetings in
Yes.
September?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down on my list. We don't have anybody attending new board member training, but Jeanette and I are gonna attend the governance training that they're offering for presidents and vice presidents. I don't have the date, but they're also the first West Putt meeting, dinner, they're going to have a meeting for the student ex officio board members prior to that meeting from like 5 to 6. And then the students are invited to stay for the dinner, but they don't have to stay. But the rest of the board is also welcome to go. So when you see the thing from West Putt, if you're interested in going, you have to tell Melody so that she can register. I will be going because I will be part of the training for the student ex officio members. Okay, so that's that.
And it's confirmed that our students are aware of this training available?
Huh?
Our students know about this training?
Yeah, we shared it with the high school, and the high school shared it out with.
Okay.
Hopefully our new board members will start in September.
That would be good.
That's what we hope.
That's our hope.
Would is the optional word there.
Yeah.
We're doing all we can, but they're busy. It's a
Yeah,
small
they are.
district,
They
and
truly
those
are.
kids,
Yeah.
you know, our students do a lot, so.
The kids are awesome.
They do.
Okay. Any other comments? Huh? No? Okay, I'd like a motion to adjourn and go back into executive session.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you.
What's that?
We're going to be discussing.
Oh, after
No
which no
business.
business will be conducted.
Right.
Thank you.